Welcome back. Sipho Claassen, the Managing Director of Boundless Consulting, has unveiled a bold initiative to address the issue of youth unemployment in South Africa. The 10,000 Jobs Initiative is designed to create employment opportunities in the travel, tourism and hospitality sectors through public-private partnerships, benefiting both graduates and unqualified young individuals in need of work. Sipho joins us now for more insights on this conversation. Sipho, good evening and thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So it's the 10,000 Jobs Travel, Tourism and Hospitality Project.
That's the one.
Quite a mouthful.
Definitely.
Why the focus specifically on these sectors?
Well, what we found with the research that we've done, Katlego, is that the hospitality, travel and tourism sectors, it's the low barriers to entry. You know, a young person can literally walk into a hotel and within a week, they are up and running kind of thing as a waiter, food and bev, housekeeping. So really due to the low barriers to entry, that is why.
So you started this initiative in January.
Certainly.
You've placed about 600 of these young people. You speak of the travel, the tourism and the hospitality space. What sort of jobs are you putting them in? What are they doing on a daily basis?
As I said, well, the sector, has a lot of entry-level, positions kind of thing. As I said, as simple as a waiter.
Okay.
As simple as housekeeping, food and beverage. So those are the kind of roles that, when we kind of go into the kitchen, it's your kitchen hand, a cook. And candidates do not necessarily stay in that particular role. They actually progress, throughout the business kind of thing. In many of the partners that we work with, they rotate the particular candidates. And they find that area in the business where that candidate feels this is really where I excel. And, this is like, the career path that I would like to follow kind of thing. Yeah.
So it's on a rotational basis. It's a 12-month program.
That's
like we said, you've already placed 600. You have 97 hosts that are hosting these young people, graduates and non-graduates. What sort of companies, are they local companies that have partnered with you in having these hosts?
Well, it's, we are very privileged that the hospitality and travel and tourism sector in South Africa has really opened up their doors to this particular initiative. It's nothing new. In fact, there are other organizations that are doing great work in this particular sector, and we are just kind of throwing in our particular, saying we also want to contribute and make a difference. We have a quite extensive database, as you kind of, indicated. It's actually much bigger than that, but It's both a combination of both local and international partners. We are talking to partners up in Doha, in Qatar, that is saying, bring your young people over here, because we really believe that South Africa alone, we cannot solve our youth unemployment issue. We need to partner with other like-minded organizations out there that see the benefit and the talent that South Africa has.
And what have been the challenges that you've experienced so far? I mean, it's been, what, 6-7 months in?
Definitely. Well, like I said, we've been around for quite a while. In fact, we've piloted the initiative, way before we actually launched it back in January. But some of the challenges is the dropout rate within these particular things. The problem is that a lot of candidates that come into the sector believe it's that 8 to 5, the corner office, the high heels kind of thing. And that is not what the hospitality sector is all about. It's hard work, but very rewarding at the same time. And I think there's just that misconception of what the industry is all about kind of thing.
Why do you think that misconception exists? I mean, if we're saying these are young people, I'm imagining many of them have not studied anything within the hospitality sector. You are given an opportunity to go in and work your way up.
Certainly.
What are you finding in terms of behavior and attitudes of this Gen Z generation that's coming into the workplace that contributes to these high dropout rates? And when you say dropout, you mean they don't finish this 12 months program?
100%. Katlego, in fact, the problem we have in South Africa is a lot of youth, they grab onto any opportunity that comes along. And I think that's one of the biggest problems and the contributors to this high dropout rate. So what we do is that, and what we've done more recently is that it's quite an intensive assessment, a process that we take these candidates to really identify if this is really for you kind of thing.
Okay.
So it's a battery of tests that we put them through, like I said, just to find out if you would succeed in this particular industry. As I said, the hospitality sector is not for everybody. It's a cutthroat, it's hard work, long hours, work public holidays, your birthday, you're working that particular day. So I think that's one of the contributing, or the sum of the contributing factors why candidates drop out from this particular program.
Is this what they say, that The long hours?
Well, we've seen it a lot, especially during the induction. As I said, a lot of candidates come into the programs simply because it's a way out. There's nothing else, so let's, grab onto this thing until something better comes along, kind of thing. And we are kind of putting mechanisms in place to prevent that, so that we do not deprive another candidate that really we believe could thrive in this particular sector. So it's, like I said, it's just a sum of those particular goodies that contribute to these high dropout rates in these particular programs. But we're winning it. We are, like I said, the assessments, that we're putting through, the partners that we're working with, they are a lot more diligent in terms of the kind of candidates that they let through. Like I said, there's been a lot of learnings, a lot of school fees that have been paid in terms of this. But like I said, we are winning it. And right now, we're kind of having high absorption rates. In fact, I think we also need to look at the positive. Those candidates that are actually getting employed permanently post the program. And that's also, the success indicator for us here at Boundless, Yeah.
This is also a very big initiative on public-private partnerships.
Definitely.
How important are such, in an initiative such as this, in ensuring that we come together as different sectors, being the private sector and the public, in order to ensure that we reduce the unemployment rate, especially amongst young people?
Certainly. If you think, Katlego, we're sitting at a 45%, a little bit over 45% youth unemployment. There is no way that a single organization can do it. And in fact, what we've also found is that a lot of organizations are doing their little bit, but they're not coming together. And I think once they come together, I think we can go much further in solving youth unemployment in South Africa. So, like I said, for example, what we're doing at Boundless, we are knocking on the doors of the NYDA and a whole host of other organizations saying, this is what we are doing. This is what our partners are willing to put into the pot. What do you have that can help us, push this thing going forward? So it's definitely a PPP model is a thing that's going to, help South Africa, deal with youth unemployment.
And an issue that we really need a lot of help with. So if there are any young people sitting at home wanting to become a part of such a program,
Definitely.
or a company that says, I'm willing to take on, because the stipend, I can imagine, is sponsored, so it's not necessarily
Definitely.
coming from the company, how do they get in touch?
So, well, the best way to get, involved and sign up for this particular initiative is through our LinkedIn handle, which is just the 10,000 Jobs Initiative, or on Facebook, Twitter. That's where they can kind of reach us, or via just Boundless Consulting on LinkedIn. And like I said, we've got a team of people that are there, as they log in, send through messages, they'll get onto that, call them, and help them, to get registered onto this particular program.
No, it's a very good initiative, and we certainly do hope that the numbers will reach that 10,000
Certainly.
target, and that we've got more young people who are willing to work from the ground up in order for them to reach that corner office status eventually within
Certainly.
the sector. Thank you so much for your time and for a beautiful initiative. I certainly do hope more young people will be joining in. That was Sipho Claassen, who's the Managing Director of Boundless Consulting, speaking to us there about the 10,000 jobs in the travel, tourism and hospitality industries, where they are placing young people looking for work.